Today we are going to do a different version of Would You Rather. And we have our friends Susan and Elena with us. And this time we're going to do Would You Rather Writer Edition. So these are all questions related to writing. And we're going to see what we think. And all three of us have 3 different questions. And we did double check this time to make sure that...
Did you 2 double check?
Well, no. That's okay. We'll figure it out.
Didn't think that far ahead.
You're just supposed to, automatically know. Okay. Would you rather have to rewrite a scene or have to add a completely new scene?
I've done both. Multiple times.
Tweaking.
You'd rather tweak?
Okay, but are we talking a simple tweak or are we talking like
rewrite
She
the
didn't
whole...
say, we're just tweaking.
It's rewrite. Rewrite the whole scene.
I think I'd rather add something
Add.
new.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would add something new.
Oh,
Yeah.
just depends.
I mean, we're talking major rewrite
Yeah.
of a scene.
It's just one scene.
But that could be several pages.
Yeah.
For me,
And
so
if you-
It could be a chapter.
But
yeah.
like my whole thing is, if you've already written something, it's in your head that way, and then your editor says, no, it doesn't work this way. You need to rewrite it this other way, and it's hard to get your mind to wrap around and change what you've already created.
I had to do that in my first one. Like I had a scene that my publisher did not want in there. That
It was pretty pivotal, wasn't it?
it was a pivotal. It was the first kiss scene. It was a sweet scene, I tell you. But
Is it better now?
no. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. It's I actually have the original scene, so if anybody wants to read it, you can and you can compare. But it's not worse. It's just really different, and I still like the way it was the first way better. That's the scene in my head.
When it goes out of print and the rights revert to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I would rather.
What
just,
did you answer?
She
I
said new
think
scene.
that I would rather do a new scene.
I think I'd rather revise because new scenes are hard for me. Just to sit down and think. Like, the screen taunts me and I just sit there and I'm like,
It just blinks.
it just blinks at you.
Yes,
And I
no.
don't like that. And it takes me forever to get started. Like, but it takes me a long time to get going. I don't know. If you
I
have
feel like
tips
I
for
could
that, please let
recreate.
me know.
Yeah, hey, I want
Oh, I thought you just said, do you
Okay.
have chips for that? I was like, well, sometimes when I write, I eat chips, but
Elena was my editor and she had me add a scene to one of my books. In fact, a first scene. And it worked out well because it was something that had been alluded to later in the book, and it turned out to, it added to the suspense, I think.
Okay, next question. Would you rather publish one book that sells really well or write as many stories as you want, but they only sell 2 copies each?
Oh,
my gosh.
I would love to have a bestseller.
One that sells really well. I guess.
Really?
No.
I'm kind of
I
surprised.
don't know.
It's hard to create.
It's hard.
Let's just do one awesome one. Why have to torture yourself?
But I have all these stories
Yes,
in my
I'm with
head.
Amy.
I
I'm
had
Yeah,
to
with
read
the
she's got
Lynn, I
100
mean-
books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's really hard. Now I lost my train of thought.
So which would you do? Would you do one that sells really well, or would you
Sure,
do?
if I knew it was going to sound really well.
Well, I mean
know.
that's the deal. You
It's
get
very-
God says you can have
Yeah.
one bestseller, or you can write tons, but they're only going to sell
It
to
is
2 people.
very discouraging to have a book that nobody wants to buy. So if you've got the one bestseller and you
Tell us
have
about
tons
it.
of tons of money from it, then you can do whatever you want for the rest of your life.
True.
It might depend. At a younger age, I might have chosen differently, but at this stage of my life, yeah, give me the one bestseller.
See, I think I would go the other way. I would, even if it only sold to 2 people, I would get the story down and I would probably say, okay, God, you know what, 2 people need this, let them have it, you know?
Yeah, I've got to get the stories out of my head.
Yeah, they've got to go somewhere.
How do you make them talk to you?
Otherwise, I'm
They
schizophrenic or
just talk
something, I
to
don't
me.
know.
They're just there. I don't know.
I need them to talk to me.
You don't need her stories to talk to you.
They're my stories.
They're
You can't
hers.
have them.
You can't take her stories.
But that's what I'm gonna do one.
Okay. Would you rather have a friend lose your books or dog-ear them?
You ain't dog earing my book.
I hate dog-earing. Don't dog-ear my book. I don't like that. Do you like that? I don't like that.
If they lose it,
And
they
someone
get to
else-
buy you a new one.
Yeah, or someone else could like.
So,
Oh, they're like losing the books that you own,
I
or
thought
losing
you
their
meant
their
when you
copies
wrote,
of the
yeah.
Your
books that
copies
you
of
wrote.
your books that you wrote. I
Oh,
thought-
Our
I thought
copies
you gave them
of-
another one.
Yeah.
So we've loaned them a copy of our book, and they either lose it or dog ear it. They better lose that puppy and buy me a new one.
Yeah.
No, I haven't dog eared it because it means they really like it and they might be
good way to
No, it means they're disrespecting
But
it.
still,
That's
yeah.
disrespect.
But if they
You find you a
lost it,
receipt and
like,
you throw it in there.
if they lost it, then that means that they didn't like it enough to pay attention to
No,
where they put
it
it.
means their toddler is a little demon and stole the book and hid it somewhere that they don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Stories.
Okay.
My
Right,
turn.
then-
Your turn.
Okay. Would you rather have to add to a book or have to cut part of your book?
And says the person who just said that you didn't want to add any
Hey,
scenes.
I don't want people cutting, I don't want people cutting my baby. Don't cut my baby.
She just had a lot of cuts recently.
She's so bleeding.
She's still bleeding. Those cuts are fresh.
I had to do both, and I don't know. Early on, I used to always write way long and have to cut, and now it's more the other way around. I write a lot more streamlined, so sometimes I have to add. But I don't know.
I tend to prefer to
toss-up.
have to add than to cut.
Yeah, me too. Would you rather write everything out with pen and paper or have to use an old-fashioned typewriter? I'm not talking the electric typewriter. I'm talking that if you want to go back and do, you have to with the tape and the, you know, and all of that.
Pen and paper.
I've used that kind.
Yeah.
Probably pen and paper.
I still
Pen and
somewhat
paper.
do some pen and paper. I'm not like Leanna and do solely pen and paper.
Oh,
Leanna
but I
George
Isn't
is
that all she
amazing.
does?
Yeah, she does everything pen and paper.
She does her
And it's
first
mine.
draft completely pen and paper. She's awesome.
I would have to go through so many notebooks because I'd be like scribbling
Yeah,
out
and
every
then-
time.
Yeah, Heather,
Oh,
can you
my
use a
goodness.
typewriter in a recliner?
Can you
Can
use
you
a
use a
typewriter if you're
typewriter
sitting in a recliner?
But you can-
With a lap desk.
Yeah, no, you know how heavy those suckers are?
They're really
A really
heavy.
strong lap desk. Move your kitchen table over your recliner.
I think I would rather have the typewriter. Even if I,
I
had
don't
to
know,
sit
it
at
would
the
seem
kitchen
kind of
table.
fun for a while.
But I type a lot faster, even with those keys that you have to like pound.
Yeah, that's a lot of things.
I type a lot faster than I write with my hand, and my hands have started cramping up if I hold them in a certain way too long, and
Yeah.
so holding the pen for that long would just
See,
kill
I'm
me.
going typewriter too, I think.
Yeah.
I'm doing pen, but you gotta make sure you get the pinky up, because you know that whole left-handed thing we already talked about. So otherwise you can't read your pen
No,
and
you
paper.
just.
I don't have that problem.
If I get the right pen, I'm getting the pen and paper. I write all day long
I think
anyways.
I'll go pen and paper, just because you can take it with you anywhere and do it.
That's
anywhere.
true.
Oh, she does have a
Do it in the
point.
doctor's
Yeah.
office or whatever.
I'm taking my typewriter to the doctor's.
You're taking it.
She's going to the beach and she's taking
I'm
her
taking my
typewriter.
typewriter.
Did
Eric?
you have their
Okay.
own suitcase?
Yeah, true. Would you rather be recognized wherever you go or live a quiet life?
Live a quiet life.
Quiet life.
Really?
Yes.
Gee, I want people hoarding me and getting it on my personal space. I don't know, because if you're leading the quiet life, that implies maybe they're not reading what you wrote.
Right. That's what I was kind of.
Where if they
you're
know
recognized.
you, it's like, hey, you've got to have a bestseller out there for everybody to recognize. In fact, you have to have a bestseller that one of the movie theaters or movie
Yeah.
houses have turned around and said, hey, this is
Okay.
amazing and we want to make a movie, and
But
then they put
seriously,
really
how
big people in it.
How many of your favorite authors do you actually know
What
what
they look like.
look like in
Yeah.
real life?
Yeah.
Not just their
I do.
headshot.
I do.
Because of
I
Facebook.
do. No, because I've met them.
I will say I've met a lot of authors.
Because it's Amy, right?
But
Because it's Amy. Oh.
I'd rather have my books be famous than have me be famous.
Mhm.
Well, and I would too. And so if it's, I can live a quiet life, but my
Right
books
under
can
pen
still be
name.
famous, and they just don't, they're not recognizing because, okay, how many people do recognize the author, that whatever, that's fine. But if it's about your writing is so obscure that nobody's ever heard of it, so you live a quiet life, or your writing is so insanely popular that everybody knows it and knows you, I'm gonna opt for insanely popular, and
Okay.
that's mine. But I like a
I'm
quiet
just trying
life.
to think. There are some like insanely popular, like even secular authors that I'm like, I don't know what you look like,
Mhm.
but I know your name.
Stephen
Yeah.
King looks like he's
Yeah.
the only one.
Yeah, he's the only one I can think of what he looks like.
J.K. Rowling. I'm sure you know what she looks like.
No.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
I don't think
sure
I can
I've
pick
seen
out
a
her
picture of her, but
lineup.
I don't know what she looks
And
like.
And I'm pretty sure I could Suzanne Collins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ernest Hemingway, I could.
Stephen King's about the only one I can think of that I could probably pick out of a lineup.
I don't even know what he looks like.
Big
either.
old mass of glasses.
Stephen King, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's about the only one I think I could pick up out of a lineup.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, in all of those, they're big name authors
Mhm.
that you know their name. But,
Yeah.
sorry, next question.
Oh, okay. Would you rather have a whole day where you can just sit down and write for the whole day, or have only like 1 or 2 hours a day but have a whole week?
I feel like I'm more efficient in a small, shorter time.
Mhm.
I am.
I
Yeah.
tend to squirrel if I have all
Well,
day.
or if you're all day, you're gonna have to get up and move around. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to get up
Yeah.
and
So
so
give me like
eat.
2 hours a day for a week.
mhm.
Yeah.
So your all day ends up not being all day when
Yeah.
you
Right.
You can
Factor
train yourself to
everything in.
focus for the
Mhm.
short amount of time.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather write on your own but have to follow a basic plot that's been given to you, or be in control of the story but have to write every other chapter with a different writer? Like you write one, they write one,
Which
you
you're
write one,
doing.
they write one.
Right? Aren't you essentially?
With
Kind
the
of.
novella.
Yeah.
We're all writing our own books, but we're going to alternate chapters.
Okay, so it's not
Yeah,
quite the
it's
same.
Okay, I've kind of done both. I did a lot, with guideposts where they give you the basic setup, the characters, and even sometimes plot ideas. And that wasn't too bad. I mean, I found that it's organized, and you can get it and say, okay, yeah, I can do that. Whereas the other way, you don't know what that other author's gonna do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'd rather,
Yeah.
There's no I in team. I ain't playing that team. I want to. You tell me the story and I'll do it. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
share.
I have done that actually because my friends got this crazy idea to do a window trilogy.
But it's gonna be so good.
It is going to be really good. It is. But that's where
But
I
they're
got the
not
idea
going
for
to-
that story. Like, I didn't have an idea for that story until they said, hey, you should write the contemporary one. And
So you're saying you've had somebody give you the plot and the characters?
well, they gave me the idea,
Well,
like the
we had
basic.
a
we had a
really
basic
basic
concept.
concept.
we
Yeah.
sort of did that with the island.
Yeah, we
when I
did.
told you, what I had been thinking about, and I ended up doing the first one, which was older historical, and then, I told you guys I had thought about doing an airplane run and golden age, whatever, and the three of you just picked out
So I'm
the ones
getting
you
the
liked
airplane.
and made it your own.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last question. Would you rather read your writings to 10 people who love you or 10,000 people who do not know you?
I'm going 10,000.
Yeah. I don't want to look people in the face and see their facial expressions. And
Because their words and their facial expressions may not match up.
Right.
True.
Well, that, and then when
But
you
when
have
they're
just
people
10,
that love you,
yeah, and then they're like right there in your
Mhm.
face, whereas you have the 10,000,
Mhm.
you're obviously not going to be sitting to where you're going to be right in the face
And
of 10,000.
the people who love you are biased.
Right.
I mean, they don't mean to be biased, maybe,
But
but
they will be.
they
well,
will
and if
be.
I have 10,000, I'm gonna have out of that, okay, they don't know me. This may be the first time they're hearing what I'm reading, and they may come out and go, out of 10,000, you're gonna have more than 10 that go, ooh, that's pretty good. I would rather have that.
Yeah.
You know, I already know these guys love me. They're gonna love me if I write Jack sat on a mat and then he killed somebody and then he went and he had an ice cream cone. Oh, this is amazing!
Limiting.
You know? The 10,000 aren't gonna be that
I
way.
can't wait to see what happens next.
Did he drop the ice cream cone?
Did he enjoy it?
Did it
I always
melt?
get real nervous,
Yeah.
you know, when I'm speaking or reading to a lot of people,
I'm the
but,
same way. I don't
yeah.
I don't like big crowds.
Well,
at
and if
all.
you figure though 10,000,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna be on a stage. There's probably gonna be lights, and
Yeah.
you're not gonna see a person out there.
It's gonna be
Well,
blurry.
Past what, the first
Yeah.
row, do they say?
Just picture him naked. You're good.
Or not.
I probably wouldn't be able to read if I was pictured.
No, but they tell you. I mean, like,
Yeah,
that's
they
stage
do
fright.
say that,
They do
but
say
ew.
that, but
The other
How about we
thing is
just
that-
find a friendly face in the crowd
Yeah,
and
yeah.
focus on
Or
them?
Or
But
look
if you've
right
got that
over
many-
their
If
heads.
you've got that many people, I mean, that's getting your name and your work out to a lot of
Mhm.
people.
Very
so.
true.
Yes.
Think about just 1% of that 10,000 is still
Yeah.
100, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't math.
I think it's 100.
Yeah.
If I did it right. If I killed enough zeros. All
all
right. Is that
right.
right?
I think so.
Yeah. So that's way more than 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed our questions, and if you have any questions for us, if you come up with a would you rather, we would love to hear it. Please share that in the comment. Leave a comment for us. And we hope that you will like this video and subscribe and share with your friends. And we look forward to seeing you next time.